Okay, so here's a little bit of an intermission, and we're going to talk a little bit about Arc 1, Arc 2, the different types of units, and then like who to pull, how to pull, what's the strategy. What kind of happens at this point is there's some people who are like, did I brick my account? Should I re-put, like, start it? And we're like, no, you don't need to restart your account. More than likely, you haven't bricked anything. You just need to learn like what you should be doing. So what you should be doing when you're pulling your account is building around an Arc 2 limited unit that's really good. And don't worry, you can always just ask, hey, what's an Arc 2 limited unit that I should be building around? And then people will say on Reddit or Discord or whatever, they'll be like, the one on banner right now is this one, and that's the one you should be building around. You're like, great, cool. That's what I should be pulling around. But now you're like, well, what the heck is Arc 1 and Arc 2? So let's go into that. So in the story here, your very first time that you log in, all that you can see is Arc 1. Once you complete Chapter 9 and you beat the final boss of Chapter 9, a whole new story mode opens up and you get Arc 2. So this is what we're talking about when we say Arc 1 and Arc 2. Once I get to a certain point in the story, so hard mode, it unlocks once I beat 3-5. So what you want to be doing is you play normal mode up to probably about Chapter 5, and then you go back and you play hard mode, and you kind of oscillate between the two. So I will play like, Chapter 5 on normal mode, then I'll play hard mode 1 and 2, and then I'll go to normal mode on Chapter 6, and then I'll come back and play like Chapter 3 on hard mode, and I'll just kind of keep oscillating. The reason why you do that is you get a lot of good rewards, and you slowly start to unlock them, and we keep going on. The other part that you want to be doing is there's these posses that you can open up. So they're little side stories, and you have the ability to unlock them as you go. And the thing that you use is this currency up here, which comes from your daily rewards. And so these ones are a little bit cheaper, and to unlock it, it costs 3. But these ones are a little bit more, and to unlock it, it costs 7. So people often say that Miriam up here, oh, no, she's not on this one, so she's over here now. Miriam down here is one of the best ones to unlock. It's basically like a really long story, and it gives you a really good posse. But all that it gives you are standard pulls, and maybe you want the standard pulls, and that's really good. When you unlock these ones, so actually these 3 I prefer more, so Daffodil, Sorrel, and Lily, they give you something which is called like the weekly materials, and it's really hard to get those. They're just like time gated. So the fact that I can unlock and get more of these weekly materials is like really great with these 3 stories. And you get that once you beat the whole story in normal mode, and then you have to play it all in hard mode. So you probably will want to unlock these, but you might need to wait a little bit till your account's just a little stronger before you come in and you try to unlock them. So Miriam's a little bit easier to do because you just get all the standard pulls, and you don't get a normal and hard version. It's just a story. But then here you're actually playing levels where you're going to have to like beat the levels, and you have normal and hard. And these 3 are like the best to be unlocking. But eventually you do want to unlock all of them. So that's a lot of time. And there's a free unlock event for Wanda. So I will click yes, unlock it now. And there is the one with Vortis we already completed, I believe. But she's on this banner up here at the very end. Don't know where her story is. Down here? I thought it was here. I don't know where they'll put it. So her story should be in one of these things, but they're currently, I'm not seeing it. End of this one? Okay, the end of this one. Here we go. Here's Vortis. So she's in one of these banners. They actually only cost 3. Wow. This one only costs 3, and these ones that are a little bit more cost 7 to unlock. Okay. Anyway, so those are the posses that you want to be unlocking. And that's kind of the Arc 1 and Arc 2 rule set. But now let's look at the Awakeners. So if I go here and I click to this trial, these units here are the standard units. So those are your basic standard units. These are your Arc 1 limited units, and these are your Arc 2 limited units. Now the best Arc 2 limited units to build around currently are Mouchette. She's the strongest damage dealer in the game. We also have, we call this G Murphy, but Murphy Fauborn. I'll explain more of that like much later on, but this is just the nickname for her is G Murphy. We have Vortis, which is the one that I'm building around. She isn't a damage dealer, but she is like kind of a secondary DPS, but does a lot of stuff. And she's really strong too. Her name is Shu. And then we also have Pollux, who you want to be building around. So these are like the main ones to kind of be building around. Kathy is strong, but she's probably now like the 6th or 7th strongest DPS. If you have the option to pick one of these ones, that's probably the main ones that you want to be building around. The other one that is in a limited banner, that is the strongest limited Arc 1 unit, is called G-Lot. Her name is Helot Katina here, and that's another one that you could be selecting, and there might be a lot of people that tell you, hey, you should pull for Helot. Okay. Then I have one of these things called a Moonless Guide right now. So on this banner itself, you have the ability to select certain units that you want to pull for. So the 2 best units that you want to be pulling for are called Theiss, and she's from Caro, and you want Horla, who's from Ultra. And when you're first starting, you probably might not know really how to use them, but even if you just have one copy of them, that's great, because when you get to like chapter 6 or 7, you might start struggling, and then you'll be like, how do I beat this level? And people will say, do you have Theiss or Horla? Yeah, you should put them in your team, and that will really help you. Okay. The other thing that you might want to be doing, so I selected Murphy here, and the reason I selected Murphy is that I know that Murphy pairs really well with Vortis. So Vortis is the Arc 2 unit I'm building around, so I want to have the other units that work really well with her, so I'm hoping that I'm going to get Murphy from these pulls. And that I also picked G-Lot just because a lot of people might be told to, hey, pick G-Lot. You should really pick G-Lot. And as a beginner, you might die a lot with G-Lot because if you don't know how to play her, she can really hurt you. But I'll try to pull her and see if I get her, and we'll go from there. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about is the pity. So in the standard banner, what happens is you will get one of these, they call it an SSR unit. So one of these standard units. Every 30 pulls is the soft pity, or just the pity for standard. So every 30 pulls, I get one of these units. And you can see right here, if I go to my history, I can look up the record, and you can see here, these are the records of like, what were the units that I got, and every 60th one, I should be getting a banner, or should be getting a pull. So I just started, and this is like the first one I got was Salvador, and then I've gotten nobody else since. So once I get to 30 total pulls, I should get an SSR showing up. And then when it comes to the limited banners, I will get one of these limiteds guaranteed every 90 pulls. But every 30 pulls, I have something called a soft pity. So I have a chance of getting this limited unit, but I might get a standard unit. So it might take me a total of 90 pulls to get one copy of the limited unit. I was lucky enough that that didn't happen. So if I click here again, and I click my records, and I go to the character event awakening, we can see with Vortis, and that happened after. So it was quite a few pulls actually. So it was almost 30 pulls, but I got her within like, I don't know, 25 pulls. And it wasn't the 90. So they have a higher rate up, and you have a better chance of getting them when they're on their banner. But I could get standards before I end up getting her. And then the same thing for wheels. So this limited wheels have the exact same pity. So it's 90 to get their wheel, but I could get it beforehand. And then every 30, so 30 and 60 are soft pities, and I should be able to get another wheel that comes out of it. The wheels are their weapons, basically, so we're putting weapons on them. And right now, if you see on my lineup, I can only put one weapon on these units. This is locked. I don't know when it is an unlock. Oh, level 15. So once I unlock at level 15, I can put 2 wheels on them. As you can see, I pulled for this standard wheel, this standard SSR wheel to have for Feint. And then Vortis, I'm really trying for her limited wheel to be able to put on her. Okay, when I go to my awakening right now, I see that I have 3 days left to pull for Vortis. So I'm going to try to pull for her within, or I'm actually not really pulling for Vortis herself, but I'm going to try to pull for her wheel. And I only have 3 more days to pull for it. And what my plan is that once I get one copy of her and her wheel, I go to this shop, and these items here give me a duplicate of that unit or that wheel. So this will give me a duplicate of the unit. I can't purchase it yet because I don't have 500. You get this currency every time you make a pull. They give you a little bit of, we call it dirt or sediment. So every time you get a pull, you get a little piece of dirt. And then once you get up to 500 dirt, you can get these items. So this one is the one that gives you a copy of any unit you currently own, and this gives you another copy of any wheel you currently own. You want to be using these on limited units, not on standard units. This is a waste to use on standard units. Do not put that on standard units. So let's go and look at a little bit about those duplicates. So you can see here, this is my list of units, and you see these little like stars underneath here. So when they go up in stars, I'll say this is Enlightenment 0, so I have 0. I only have one copy of her. When I get 2 copies of her, I have something called Enlightenment 1, which is then I have 1 star, then I have 2 stars, then I have 3 stars. Let's look at their stars themselves. So when I get a second copy of her, I'm going to unlock this ability here. This is really long, but this is just basically saying her pursuit, which is the thing I'm trying to trigger by using her reload card, will do more damage. That's pretty much the gist of this whole long thing. This one just says that when I play her strike or defense card, it's going to reduce the cost of her reload card, the card that I want to play a lot. So that's kind of really nice for her. And for her third one, this one here is just going to do more damage with her exalt. So when it's your main damage dealer, you want to have them at Enlightenment level 3, and the 3 other units in your team, you don't need to be too focused on their Enlightenment levels when you're first starting. But your main damage dealer, you probably want to get them to Enlightenment level 3, so just focus on pulling them. And as you understand more of the game, you'll understand which Enlightenment levels you want to be getting for your other units. But your main damage dealer, just basically the more copies, the better. Once you go above 3 or 4 copies in total, so 3-starred unit, you get something called a Psyche Surge, and they can go from plus level, so it's +1 all the way up to +12. Every time you go up a plus level, they gain some more of their stats. So for Vortis herself here, she's going to gain Realm Mastery and Key Flare every extra copy I have. Once I go to +4, that's called something called an Overexaltation gets opened up. Her Overexalt, we call this OE. So once her OE is opened up, we have the ability to play a second, more powerful Exalt. I'll explain that a little bit later once we get to that, but right now it's just to show you that the more copies I get, the stronger they become. Okay, and what my plan is that I'm going to try to get her wheel. Okay, once I unlock her wheel, then I'm going to go back to this Moonless Guide, and I'm going to try to open up this, and I have 24 days to open up this, whereas this ends in 3 days. So I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to come back to this banner, and I'm going to try to pull these units to maybe add them in. And the unit I really want, just to show you how to play it, is Murphy. But even if I get any of these units, these are units that you might be told you should pull. So then I can show you how to play with these units if I get them, especially on a brand new account, because I can show you on my main account, but my main account, these are like really strong, and it doesn't really apply for people who are just like starting the game. Then we got to look at something called Menophin. So your Menophin, as I've talked about in previous videos, is it recharges every so many minutes. Once you get enough of it, you can start to use it mainly in 2 places. The first place that you want to use this in is to get EXP potions, and you want to use this just to get your characters all up to level 10. Once you get them to level 10, stop pulling from here and use your Menophin here. Go over into the events. So once I go to the events, you have the events here, and they give you specialty shops. I already did one of these ones, but what you can do is you can do level 1 to start. Don't start down here. So once you beat level 1, what it does is it gives you this type of in-shop currency, and then I have the ability to reenact it, so I don't have to beat this whole boss again. I just can click this button, and I can just use Menophin and just reenact it quickly. So this is a fast way that on my phone, I'll log in for 5 minutes, go to this event shop right now, or this event that's going on. I'll go use my Menophin up, and then I'll just log out. It's just kind of a simple, fast thing. And what ends up happening is I can go to this shop afterwards. And up here, these are the specialty items. And I'm trying to maximize pulling all the specialty items and then getting some of these items. So I have 3 different versions of this shop. And I want to try to clear out all of these specialty items. I probably can't right now because I'm starting this a little bit too late. But I'm going to try to maximize getting this one because this gives me some more pulls. And then once this shop is done, I have another event that's going on. Here's Wanda's event. And I will do the exact same thing where I'll come back and I'll try to unlock and get all of these items that are inside of this shop. So the shops actually differ for each of the events, but Wanda's event lasts for 17 days and this lasts for 3 days. So I'm going to try to get this event first before I go back to this event and try to clear out this event.